Hey guys, it's Warzone, and welcome back to another episode of my F1 2019 career mode. This race we will be run at the British GP round 10 of this season, and this will be my team's home Grand Prix, so hopefully we can get into the points and do well at their Grand Prix, so let's head into qualifying.
Here we are then, waiting for the green lights to get qualifying underway for the British Grand Prix. Now then, Anthony Davidson, you're not getting any younger, but you have been involved in your fair share of qualifying sessions in an illustrious 30-year career. How do you deal with the pressure when you have that one chance to deliver a perfect lap?
It's not so much about dealing with the pressure, it's more about how you approach the risk and just how much of it are you willing to take. You're constantly balancing the car on the edge of grip from braking, cornering and traction, and over the course of a lap, it's easy to get that balance wrong, and that's why achieving the perfect lap is almost impossible. As you say, I've been doing this 30 years now, and it never gets any easier.
So as we're still waiting in the garage, first lap right away, not much time to talk about the lap we do, and not too impressive, P19, but we're in the green this time. Oh, that jumps us way up into P9, but at the end of qualifying when we were on P10, George Russell in last, but at least I have some speed and we go out for another run, but it is only P15, so we were a little slow there, but I guess that could happen.
We're right back where it all began. The very first World Championship Grand Prix was held here at Silverstone in 1950, with Giuseppe Farina taking the top step of an all-Alfa Romeo podium. He earned 9 championship points that day on his way to the inaugural title. His winning total at the season's end, just 30 points. My, how times have changed. So let's see who can reach the top step of the modern podium today. Straddling the border of Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire, the 18 corners of the Silverstone circuit form the 3.6-mile beating heart of Formula One. It's been reinvented over the years, with Turn 1 now the fast right-hander of Abbey, but the magic of racing is as strong here as it's ever been. And it's an absolute pleasure to be joined once again by Anthony Davidson. Let's start with Racing Point. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Verstappen, Sebastian Vettel, and Gasly, Ricciardo, Weber, Magnussen, and Devon Butler. Grosjean, Perez, Lance Stroll, and Raikkonen are Williams, Hülkenberg, Lando Norris, and Alexander Albon. Sainz and George Russell ends our grid lineup. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, so as we're here on the starting grid, there haven't been any penalties, so we won't be moving up any positions, but looks like we'll be doing a one-stop, so soft to mediums this race. Yeah, and then we're just gonna bump up the fuel load a little bit, because our car doesn't really have the best fuel efficiency. So yeah, we can be in rich mix longer. So as we engage the clutch and start revving up the engine, the 5 red lights go out, we get a okay start. Some wheel spin there from Stroll, but it doesn't seem to hurt him. We're going to Rich Mix here. We're going to go around the outside here, around multiple cars. We made it through right through that section. Perez squeezes us there, and we have to save the car as we almost spin out, as we barely get started with the race. We dive it down to the inside of Perez. He just doesn't even care that we're actually there. And we're still going side by side, but we eventually make the move, kind of squeeze him out there. Really slows him down. So now we have, we go wide into this corner. But now we have our eyes set on Grosjean. And we're going to try and pass him to get into P11, which will put us really close to the points there. I believe Devin Butler is in 10th, so it would be good if we could try and beat him this race. Our old F2 rival, as we almost lose the back end going into that turn. We are losing them just a tad, but in the braking zone's the middle of the game, just a little bit. We do go wide, so this is going to hurt the exit of the turn. They're going to pull a little farther away, and hopefully I can stick with them with my straight line speed, using some fuel and ERS. Just stick with them until we can get DRS on the third lap. We're going to head into the chicane while I make a move. No, I went way too far back. If we go a little wide into the corner, that's going to really hurt us on the exit. And we complete the first lap of the race. Just looking behind us, looks like Perez got overtaken by Raikkonen, but now as we move on to lap 5, Grosjean is right in front of us now. We're getting pretty close. I think Raikkonen's also gaining on us, but we have DRS. Our tire wear is getting a little iffy, but it should be okay. And we just can't, we really do go wide into these corners a lot, but we're going to look to the outside of Grosjean. We're going to go wheel to wheel around this section. But Grosjean just pushes us into the gravel, and that slows us down so much that Kimi Raikkonen's able to pass us. So we are back down to P13. And that was could have been penalty, I guess, for Grosjean, but for not giving us the space we needed, that could have ended much worse than it actually did for both of us. Like he could have just spun out on the front end of my car, and we could have both just got stuck in the gravel, or maybe even smashed into the wall. We're going a little bit faster there, but we're gonna try and catch up to these guys, and maybe make a dive bomb into the chicane here. And we won't, we're just gonna stick behind here. And yeah, I think the audio did get a little messed up, but it's okay. I think the audio's a little ahead of the actual gameplay we see, but that's not good, but whatever. And we're able to keep ahead of Stroll. Oh, this is an unusual place to make a dive bomb. And we pass Kimi Raikkonen there. We're going to the straight, we have DRS. And we're going to go now onto lap 8. And we're going to have to chase down Grosjean through the chicane section here. Looks like cars ahead are going side by side through this section. That's really going to slow them down. So we gain a lot through there. And get DRS. Looks like Butler, Grosjean, and Ricciardo are fighting. Grosjean tried to go to the outside there, but it didn't work. We're going to make it 3 wide into the sweeping right-hander. 4P10 here. We're going to we're going to tap Ricciardo's wheel. We're going to dive to the inside, but so does Grosjean. Oh, Ricciardo didn't even know both 2 people were about to dive bomb into that chicane. That could have been really worse. We hit his side pod a little bit with our front wheel. But we move on later. Butler has overtaken Magnussen, so I wonder if he has an issue or something, but we're gaining a lot. It looks like all 3 of us are just going to enter the pits, and just going to hopefully get a fast pit stop, and might be able to jump someone in the pit stop with pit stops. I don't really know. But this is a very slow pit stop and pit lane. Now, looks like a lot of people have their pit crews out, so this is about the time most people will be pitting. We engage the clutch, and then we go. Looks like Magnussen has overtaken Butler in the pit stops, the pit lane. And their pit crew probably going really fast. Butler maybe got held up by the Alfa Romeo. We exit the pit lane, Ricardo behind us. And now we're just going to have to chase after Butler. And he is going to be for position. So the sooner we can overtake him, the better. And we might be able to score some more points. And I believe this lap everyone is coming in, the rest of the drivers who have not stopped. So that probably should put us into the points there. Yes, it is P10. And looks like Butler has overtaken Magnussen, but kind of appears they have all just pulled away from me up front. But Ricardo is still there, and he's gaining on this straight. He looks to the inside there, but pulls out of the move. And hopefully he won't try and dive bomb us here into the chicane. No, he won't. So we're going to have to be defending our points position here. Or I believe most likely the rest of this race, unless something happens to Ricardo. But he goes to our inside here from out of nowhere, and we're going to have to stick it round the outside. We give him no room to complete the turn. That makes him slow down so much. And now we're on to lap 21. Looks like Ricardo's been overtaken by Sainz, and as I was looking backward, I ran into the grass. That slows us down even more, and Sainz is going to be right on our tail as we get into that DRS zone. He's going to have DRS. So I go to rich mix. I'm in the high ERS mode, but he's still got that straight line speed. He's gonna pull to my outside, and I'm gonna just stick it in, and he turns into us and go a little wide off that turn. The AI aren't giving us any room at this race today. It's really unfortunate. We're gonna turn into a lot when we make moves. Some of them I can't understand, like when I make a really late lunge, but like that one, I was side by side with him and he just turned in. He's still there, like, Sainz is still trying to grab some points. As we're on lap 22 of 26, so the race is nearing to the end. It looks like there's multiple cars behind, because we have a whole train of cars. And we're just going to have to hold off Sainz through here. We move on later to lap 21, and Sainz is really closed down on us. And it looks like Lando Norris is also behind and getting ready to pounce if we mess up. And yeah, looks like Butler's been overtaken by Magnussen. But it looks like Butler and Magnussen are now fighting for position, but we gotta worry about our own problems as Sainz overtakes us for a little bit there, but we swoop around the outside and stay ahead of him. But there's a, I believe, yellow flag somewhere here, and it's Kevin Magnussen. So this could be us scoring 2 points today if we can hold off Sainz here. But even if Sainz passes us, we'll still be in the points. And that's mainly where I want to be this race. We're gonna have to hold Sainz off again. It looks like Norris is getting a great run here. Sainz pulls to our inside. Norris trying to make a move here, go very wide into this corner, and Sainz overtakes us at near the end of lap 23. We're gonna dive bomb Sainz into the chicane there, and we're gonna take that position back. And we're gonna hopefully cement ourselves in P9. But Sainz looks to make another move. We're going to go 3 wide into this section. This is not going to be good. Oh my goodness. Sainz gets squeezed. I think it was Norris actually, or Sainz got squeezed in between both our cars. It looks like Sainz is still going fine as we go side by side through the sweeping hand turn. We might have to go side by side into this chicane. I force him really down, trying to slow him down as much as I can. And he gets ahead. Oh my goodness, we tap wheels. I was not ready to slow down that quickly. And we keep the position on Sainz going. Oh my goodness, we're gonna lose. We almost lose the back end and we go into the grass. We have DRS, but it looks like Ricardo and Hulkenberg are behind. They might want to grab some points here. They're gonna go 3 wide with Norris. We go onto the grass for some reason, and Sainz goes to the inside, and we go wide as we touch wheels. And he takes the position, but we're gonna try and send it to the inside. And it looks like we got tapped somewhere that sends us kind of forward there. We almost missed the apex of that turn. And going to lap 25 now. And Sainz again is going to look for a move into turn 1. Doesn't look like it's going to work there. And hopefully he got nothing left in the tank as we go very wide. More yellow flags. I wonder what happened there, but George Russell, our teammate, he is out of our team's home Grand Prix. That is not a good thing. I think that's his first retirement of the season. But Sainz is looking again to make a move as we go wide. And we just really can't lose him. And he's really pressuring us here. He gains again on the slipstream. We go defensive to the inside here. He's going to have to try and swoop around the outside. Decides to pull out of it, but he's still right behind us. We're going to have to go through this section as quick as we can. And hopefully get a good exit off these turns, but it looks like we kind of went wide in some of those corners, not getting good exits. And this is going to be a drag race down this backstretch. We got a whole train of cars behind us. And here goes Sainz to the inside. Norris might also try and make a move as we swoop around the outside of Sainz here. And we're going to try and keep it there. And then we're going to be on the inside for this first chicane here as we dive bomb it in. We tap front wheels again. And keep the position. Go very defensive there, blocking off Sainz's run before he can even get to us. And we're on the last lap of the race. I'm just going to use whatever I have to stay in this P9 position, score some points here. That would be the best outcome. Going to that left-hander here. Sainz is going to go try and make a move around the outside, but I go to the racing line and we're able to keep it. Looks like Charles Leclerc won this race today, but we still got a race to run. We still got to defend against Sainz here. We got a whole train of cars behind. It's probably the rest of the field. That's just how much I'm holding up all these guys, being very aggressive defensively, and we stay ahead. And Sainz is going to our inside here. This is going to be very close, but he overtakes us super quickly there. We're going to have to try and stay with him and overtake him in the DRS straight right here. We get DRS. We're in rich revs. We're in I believe we're in hot lap mode or high or something like that. And we go super underneath Sainz. Looks like Sainz and Norris are going to be going side by side, battling for this last points position. Sainz is going to try and be optimistic, go around to the outside in this chicane. This slows him down. This might make it so that Norris scores the points here. But it does look like Sainz keeps 10th and we get P9.
Working to the track conditions and perfecting the team's strategies. They got all of these things right today and the results speak for themselves.
Here come our winners now. A thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again. So, let's review the drivers' standings. More points for Valtteri Bottas, further solidifying his lead at the top of the table. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick? It's time to see how things are shaping
we got
up
P9, Leclerc, Bottas, and Vettel. 1, 2, 3. Max got 4th. Hamilton got 5th. That's not a good place for him, but Gasly got 6th. And then Weber and Butler ahead of us. And then us and Sainz around to the top 10. And there's 2 DNFs, Butler and Raikkonen. I'm going to check out the standings here. Bottas stays in the lead. Vettel actually gets ahead of Hamilton, and mainly everything is staying where it is. But Weber has jumped into P9 in the driver's standings, and they've jumped ahead of the Haas team in the constructors Alfa Romeo. We stay in P9. So we have 1,787 R&D points. I'm gonna do this. I believe this is a major upgrade for the drag, and I believe we're also gonna be doing this weight reduction upgrade. So yeah, we're getting a few new upgrades. We're already doing a chassis upgrade that's in the progress. I believe we might get it in the next race, or the race after that, something like that. But we do choose this weight reduction upgrade at some point. And yeah, if you guys did enjoy this episode of F1 2019 Career Mode, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.